Hi, tonight we're going to talk about one of my favorite recipes, which is broccoli cheddar soup in the cooking blender. And of course, just as soon as I was ready to start this, it was time to mow the lawn in my house. So I apologize for any background noise. Real life in the Knowles house. So I love the cooking blender. This is probably the most used appliance in my house. Toss up between this and the air fryer. We use both pretty much daily. And this recipe for broccoli cheddar soup is actually one that comes in the guide that comes with the cooking blender. This is what's so amazing about this blender is it doesn't just puree your food, it actually cooks the soup. And this is how easy this recipe is. So I've got all my ingredients here. I've got 6 cups of broccoli. Now I tend to use fresh, but if you run out of fresh, I had some frozen. I kind of filled in the gaps with some frozen broccoli. Fresh or frozen, doesn't matter. We've got half an onion, that I forgot to peel. And then we have 2 cloves of garlic that I need, those I do need to peel. And I'm gonna use my little garlic peeler because I just love this thing because it takes the skin right off. It is so amazing. So you could press your garlic into this recipe, but garlic actually emits different flavors depending on whether you press it or whether you slice it or chop it. And we're gonna chop it in the blender. It's gonna give us a little stronger flavor. So, it doesn't matter that much, but this recipe does call for peeled cloves. So there they are. We've got our wedge of onion. It calls for 2.5 cups of vegetable broth. So here's one of my best money-saving tips. If you have the time and the wherewithal, rather than buying a carton of vegetable broth, buy this little container that says better than bouillon, and you can make your own vegetable broth. It's so easy. So here's all you do. I'm gonna actually just pour the water right into the pitcher on the cooking blender, because you don't even have to mix this in. The blender will do all the work. And then this is 2.5 tablespoons of the vegetable bouillon, and we're just gonna push that right in. There we go. I forgot my scraper. I always forget something. So there's our vegetable bouillon. And then we're gonna put our 2 onions in. Our onion and our 2 cloves of garlic and our broccoli. 1, 2. I had a stray one. All right, guys. This is how easy this is. We've put the ingredients in the pitcher. We're gonna put the lid on, turn it on. We're gonna set it to the soup setting. We're gonna push start, and we're done. This is gonna puree the broccoli. I'm actually gonna pause it for a minute. It's gonna puree all the ingredients. It's gonna cook them and bring them up to 212 degrees. So you're gonna see it's flashing 61 degrees. You probably can't see that, but it's flashing 61. That's the temperature of the ingredients right now. It will cook them until it comes to 212. And then it'll cook it for about 10 minutes and then it'll stop. At that point, the recipe calls to add some baby spinach and some cheddar cheese, and you puree that in just with the puree setting, and your soup is ready to eat. Now, here's what I love about this recipe, outside of the fact that it's ridiculously easy, right? You just saw me put it together, and it took me less than 5 minutes to assemble these ingredients on the table here. This recipe is less than 100 calories per serving. So if you're eating keto or low glycemic, this is going to become one of your favorite go-to recipes for either lunch or dinner or even an afternoon snack. It's less than 100 calories per serving. The recipe does come with a little a biscuit recipe that you can make to go with your soup. If you make the biscuits, it is no longer low glycemic, but the soup alone, 90 calories per cup. I love this recipe. I hope you do too. And if you have any questions, comment below. Bye.